Hello, friends, and welcome back to another Draw With Me Wednesday. I'm Miss Smith, and today we are doing some hot cocoa cups. Now, I'm really excited about this because this is something that I did with my students back in December for one of our Christmas projects, and they got really, really into it. Like, I did this with fourth graders, and they have been making all of their patterns like really, really detailed. But this is just a simple example that I had from a couple years ago. I want to say about 3 years ago, where I just did some simple designs, some simple patterns. But you can do anything with these hot cocoa cups. You can have them rounded on the edges like that. You can have them more straightforward. You can have them with marshmallows or whipped cream or anything that is topped. We did this around Christmas, like I said. So some of us put Merry Christmas on our hot cocoa cups. We put whipped cream in it. We did different patterns in the background and on the table. Here's another Christmas example. This person did a Christmas tree with a wiggly design, some rainbow hearts in the background, and a zigzag pattern on the table. I also showed my students how to do a Starbucks cup, and they got really into this idea. Some of them did Dunkin' Donuts as well. And then lastly, I know not everybody likes hot cocoa, so I also did like a teacup-esque hot cocoa cup as well. And I'm just going to show you how to do a really, really simple version of this. Some of my younger students have been asking for this, and like I said, I completely forgot to put it on the channel, so we're just going to do it today. And all that I have for today is my Sharpie markers, which I have already picked out 5 colors. And I have my crayons and colored pencils. I will probably use both to color with today, but if you don't have Sharpie markers, we used Crayola in the art room, but I did not have my Crayola markers with me at home. I left them at school, so work with what you got. I have Sharpies, so I'm working with Sharpies. And I am just using a normal sized sheet of paper, and all I'm going to do to start with this is a oval right in the middle of my paper. You can make it a small oval, you can make it a big oval. It really just depends on your cup and what you would like to do with your cup. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I am going to, I think I'm going to do a wiggly design down, and I might go in like that. Okay. And then I might do just a normal handle with a curved line. Kind of looks like a backward C almost. And some of my students have also been putting like those little teacup plates at the bottom. You can do that if you would like to. Some of them put little coasters on the bottom as well. I'm not going to do that today. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch my marker. And we went with a brown marker. I completely forgot to use my brown marker. We did our marshmallows first. So I do that with a oval. I go down on both sides of my oval and then round it out at the bottom with a curved line. And then you can do this in different directions. So it looks like your marshmallows are just kind of piled in randomly instead of just straight up and down. So something like that. We can also put a couple behind your marshmallows and do a little bit of overlapping. You can also change up your size a little bit. Make some marshmallows a little bit smaller than your other marshmallows. And I like a lot of marshmallows, so I'm going to go ahead and just pile them in. Okay. Once you have your marshmallows, you're going to do another curved line on the inside of your first oval that you did for your hot cocoa. I'm going to follow my line. Okay, and that's going to be your hot cocoa line. Alrighty. Now I'm going to switch up my colors because I'm going to start with my table next. I'm working with purple. You can do whatever kind of color you want. But I'm going to work with purple. And I'm going to do my horizon line right here. That just separates the wall from the table. Or if you're drawing a picture of someplace outside, it separates your sky from your grass. Mine's a little crooked, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do a pattern on my table, and I think I'm gonna do a plaid pattern. So that means I'm gonna pick one color, and I am going to go down, 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 all the way across my table. It's okay if it's a little bit crooked. Down and down. Okay, then I'm gonna do the same thing over. So it looks like I am doing some crisscross lines. Okay, and I'm going to take my second color, and I used dark pink for my first color, and I'm going to use a light pink for my second color. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing, but instead of going over my lines that I already did, I'm going to kind of go in between them. So this first square, I'm going to go in between right here. Okay, my second square right in the middle. Okay, same thing. Right in the middle of all of my squares. And I'm going to do the same thing across. I'm going to go in between, in the middle of my squares across. It's okay if your lines are a little bit wiggly. Mine's a little bit wiggly. Boop. Okay. And I have my plaid design. Now I'm going to take a gray Sharpie because I'm going to do the hot cocoa steam from my cup. And I'm going to turn my Sharpie to the side so I can get that nice thick line. And I'm just going to wiggle, wiggle up, wiggle, wiggle up. Do the same thing on this side, wiggle, wiggle up, wiggle, wiggle up. There we go. And then I'm going to draw my inside lines of my steam with the point of my Sharpie, just to make it a little bit thinner. I'm just going to wiggle, wiggle down, wiggle, wiggle down. And you can see the difference how my inside lines are thinner than my outside lines. Wiggle, wiggle down. And wiggle, wiggle down. Okay, that's one side. And I have to do the other side with my little wiggle wiggles. Boop. There we go. And I am going to go ahead and start with my, I haven't thought of a design right for my cup just yet. So I might go ahead and do my background first. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some little flowery shapes. So I'm going to do a dot, line on top, line on bottom, crisscross, crisscross. I'm going to do the same thing. This has been my favorite design lately. I'm not really sure why. Some of the kids were making fun of me one day. They said it looked like the Walmart symbol, which I can kind of see that. but I thought it was kind of like a sunburst or a flower. But I guess Miss Smith has just been putting the Walmart symbol on everything. Boop, boop. Okay, that's one side. I might do one more up here. And I'll do one on the inside in between my steam. Maybe two, maybe one down here. Boop, boop, boop. And I'm going to continue my pattern on this side. Okay. Almost done with my little Walmart symbol flowers. I'll put two more up here. And there we go. All right, now that I have all of my little symbols or my pattern, I think I'm going to go ahead and figure out a pattern for this. I don't want to make it a Starbucks cup. I don't want to make it a Dunkin' Donuts cup. I might just put a simple heart onto it. I don't want to make it too complicated. There we go. And that is it. Now it's time to color. I'm going to use a box of crayons for this. I'm going to go in with a brown crayon first and color around my marshmallows. I'm going to leave my marshmallows white. Unless you want the really cool rainbow marshmallows, those sound really cool. I never buy those though. I usually just buy the white ones. And I'm going to color around my marshmallows with a brown crayon. And I don't really have a plan for the rest of this yet, but we will see in just a second. All right, I have finished my hot cocoa cup. I ended up using crayons for this one. I was going to use colored pencils, but I decided against it. I did go in with a light bluish purple for my background, a light bluish green, almost like a light turquoise color for my cup. I did leave my marshmallows white, and I also used a bright yellow for my tablecloth. And in the past examples that I've already shown you, I have usually left my steam white as well, but I did find a silver crayon that I really liked, so I did use that for my steam as well. If you followed along with me, I am sure that your hot cocoa cup looks absolutely delicious, and I hope that you have enjoyed this Draw With Me Wednesday, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.